And we're back.
Back in the flash.
So, weed is legal in some states. Still not federally legal, but it's legal in some states. And what do you think about reparations? Like paying us back for this war on drugs that's taken so many of our brothers and sisters.
I think there should
American brothers and sisters.
I think there should be full-on reparations. Like if it's legal now, if marijuana is legal now and it becomes legal federally, even on the state level, all of those crimes should be expunged retroactively, because it's like you basically extending, you're carrying on punishment for a crime that's no longer illegal. Mm-hmm. So you got to do something. You got to pardon these people. And I remember when we first started seeing legalization in the first few states, that was a topic that came up.
So, shouts out to the people of San Francisco. I want to say that.
Love some rice-a-roni. Yes, I do.
Yeah, they were the first to announce that they might potentially move to clear past misdemeanor convictions on pot possession. Mm-hmm. And soon followed up by the people of Seattle. Mm-hmm. Seattle got all the credit for this one, so I'd like to point out that San Francisco did it first.
Yeah.
But still, shouts out to Seattle, because that's one of my dream places.
Yeah.
I plan on retiring to somewhere where the water meets the mountains.
The Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. Really anywhere where the water meets the mountains. It mm-hmm. doesn't even have to be in North America. Mm-hmm. It could be somewhere tropical, somewhere cold, as long as there's water and mountains together. I'll shovel the snow. But yeah, man, that's shit.
I mean, because we're gonna see the trend of marijuana legalization continue in this country.
It's too good.
Yeah, you gotta get started now. You have to get started now. We have to, like, this is good because it sets precedent for what's gonna happen in the future. We're gonna have holdout cities. We're gonna have holdout states. Illinois is gonna be a holdout state.
No.
I'm talking about as far as retroactively pardoning these people.
Yeah.
New York, definitely. Mm-hmm. Like, and and as taxpayers, we're paying to house these nonviolent misdemeanor offenders for crimes that ain't even illegal no more.
Well, it's still illegal on a federal level.
Right, on a federal level. But if they're misdemeanor crimes, they're being convicted on the state level.
Yeah.
So the federal government doesn't have anything to do with them being pardoned on the state level.
Yeah,
right, with misdemeanor crime.
Yeah.
So you gotta let them boys out, man.
Man, that's
See, but you know what's interesting about this though? If you are pardoning criminals for this marijuana thing is no longer illegal, if they decriminalize it across the board, what happens in the workplace?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still you can't drink on the job, even mm-hmm. though it's legal to drink at any time of the day if you're 21 and over, and if you have mm-hmm. some liquor, mm-hmm. you can go on a private property and drink as much as you want at any time of the day.
But if I'm not high on the job, but we all know how marijuana can stay in your system for a long time.
Yeah, I've always felt like it's not a drug. You know, drugs, they go in and they come out. Mm-hmm. You know, medicine stays in your body and heals you and keeps you going. You know,
I never thought about it that way.
Like, marijuana stays in your system for 30 days because it's still healing you.
Right.
It's still helping you.
Cocaine is out in what, 3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocaine, mushrooms, you ship mushrooms out as soon as you take them in.
Right.
Like,
so I'm wondering, like, okay, is it unconstitutional to take somebody's job? Because they have a way to prove if you high on sight or not. Right?
Yeah.
They got that test.
Mm-hmm.
So is it unconstitutional to terminate somebody from the workplace for offense that was committed outside of the workplace? That's not an offense anymore. If it's legal, that's just like
yeah, I mean, it's corporate policy though. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with the federal government.
I know that. I'm saying,
Chick-fil-A don't open on Sundays because that's corporate policy. If I say I got this car wash and I don't want people who smoke weed at my car wash, mm-hmm. I'm not saying I don't want black people working at my car wash or I don't want white people working at my car wash. I'm not saying I don't want Muslims or Christians working at my car. I'm saying I don't want you to smoke weed if you work for me.
But that's it's still gonna turn into an issue of social justice though. At some point.
No, it's not social justice.
I know it's not. I know it's not. I'm saying it's gonna
weed.
turn into that.
I
Because
smoke weed. I know I can't go and apply at Greyhound right now. Or I know I can't go apply at, UPS right now.
But you know you're
'Cause
not.
I got clouded his.
But you know you're not a Bengal tiger neither. But it's people in this world that believe they are and want to be respected as such, and it's a real issue in this country.
Is there an actual website that I can go to for the Bengal Tiger Association of America?
I'm sure there is, man. If you can find it, we'll talk about it. I'm sure. But I mean, it's like it's trends. I think it's gonna turn into an economic trend. So in industry where workforce matters, like your number is based on how many people you have actively working for you.
The Bengal Tiger, Seattle, Washington.
You're not gonna hire this dude because he smokes weed. I don't care if he smoke weed or not, as long as he ain't high on the job. I'm gonna create a dominant position in the market. So is that gonna dominate? That domination gonna create a trend of not testing for marijuana in the system.
No, you have to. I mean, it's insurance policies. Like,
I'm talking strictly for the workforce. You talking about like workman's comp?
yeah.
See,
there's
everything
many
is going to
things-
change.
there's
Everything
so many
has to
things
change.
tied into the effects of marijuana.
It all has to
Like,
change, man, because it's
Just
like
if you can't go to work, if you're visibly drunk at work, they're not gonna let you do your job. If your job involves heavy machinery, they're gonna sit you down or they're gonna send you home. You know, and if you blown out of your mind and you can't put a sentence together, they're not gonna let you do your job. You know, if your job requires you to be on point at all times. You know, I mean, it's yeah. You know, I say teachers shouldn't go to school blasted, toasted, you know, like.
of course not.
You know, like, but McDonald's, who cares if you're blown walking into McDonald's? You flipping burgers. Let them smoke, you know? Like, I mean, you're not driving a CTA bus, you know, taking people places, you know? Like, if the job doesn't require you to be, you know, on point, yeah, who cares if you smoke? But, yeah, as far as company to company policies, I don't think those are going to change. Because there's a lot of states where you can smoke weed, but you still can't drop dirty.
All right, so
You get fired for dropping dirty. Colorado.
So how about this?
Cali.
Is it unconstitutional for employees not to accommodate users of medical marijuana? Like there was a case of a man that worked for, I think it was Comcast or Xfinity, and he has multiple sclerosis.
You see, now that, I mean,
he's cleared by his physician to use medical marijuana, but he was drug tested by his employment and terminated.
Yeah. I mean.
But is that constitutional though? That's the argument.
Yes, it's constitutional. You know why it's constitutional? Because the Constitution is federal, and marijuana is still federally illegal.
But that's not why he got fired from his job though, because it's federally illegal.
No, he got fired because the company has a no marijuana policy.
So that's what I'm questioning, not the legality of it on a federal level, but should it be okay for a corporation to have such policies?
No. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If I say you can't smoke weed working for me, and your doctor says he needs weed to stay alive, and I already said when you signed the contract to work for me that you can't smoke weed while you work for me, then no, you can't smoke weed while you work for me. You can find somebody who you can smoke weed to work for.
So I'm telling you what's gonna happen. This is gonna turn into cases of workplace discrimination. I'm not saying what the outcome is gonna be. I'm saying what the face of the situation is gonna turn into.
Man, there's so
It's
many
coming.
industries out there that don't care if you smoke weed. You know, it's just the people who've been on the job for 30 years now who need the marijuana for some physical ailment that they probably got at work for working for this company for 30 years, getting fired. That's what's affecting in a negative way. But there can't be any positive change. I mean, there can't be positive change without any negative, without anything happening.
So you're already seeing it. As of July of 2017, the Massachusetts Supreme Court issued the decision allowing medical marijuana users to assert state law handicap discrimination claim.
Yeah.
So it's like, in essence, you discriminating against a person with a handicap
It's
because
not a
of their
handicap,
medication.
though. It's not a handicap. Because, look.
So, I mean, that's just like you saying that you don't want to hire opioid users.
Yeah.
But if I'm in chronic pain and my doctor prescribes it to me, is that handicap discrimination for you not to want to hire me, or to even worse, fire me?
You see, now, the whole, what's the industry I'm thinking about? The medical industry.
Big Pharma?
Yeah, Big Pharma. Everything that weed does, they've made a pill to do the same thing weed does that'll kill you faster. They want you to take these pills. They don't want you to smoke the weed. So everything the doctor prescribes weed to you for, there's a pill out there that Big Pharma is trying to sell you.
Right.
So of course they're gonna want you to pop these pills and not smoke the weed. It's still a way to get you not to smoke the weed.
I get that. I just know that at some point this is gonna turn into a criminal thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's criminal. I mean, well, the whole setup is criminal. It's not just the weed and the people who say you can't smoke weed. It's the
system
food that you eat, the pop you drink.
It's the system at play.
The microwaves, the radiation, the this, the that. It's everything. It's the capitalism. It's the corporations. It's
Are we going back to the they right now?
No. It's the system. Like the system that's been set up and perpetuated. Like it just keeps going. Like we don't see a way out of it because we're born into it. Just like you have a very good smartphone. I just purchased myself an iPhone.
Right.
And your son, he doesn't care anything about your phone, but he is in love with my iPhone.
And don't know what either one of them does.
Just because it's an iPhone. Brand
recognition.
He knew stuff about my phone that I didn't know about my phone as a 10-year-old, because he was born into a capitalist society where they teach you how to make money to buy stuff. You buy more stuff and you buy more stuff and you buy more stuff, and he's born into it. And I forgot where I was going.
It happens. But I want to say that to wrap it up a little bit, I want to say that I'm looking forward to how the laws change. Like everything must change. When you start letting people out of jail, everything changes. When you start overturning convictions, everything has to change.
Yeah. When you admit that you're wrong.
Exactly.
It's when you admit that you're wrong.
And this is like
to start changing.
It's creating a domino effect of the morality and the effectiveness of the war on drugs itself.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's not maybe the laws changing is the wrong way to approach this. Maybe everything else needs to change. Like last week, I said something stupid. I said we should get rid of the Constitution, and I do not believe that at all. I went back and read the Constitution, though. Like I read the Bill of Rights, and it seems to me as if, okay, now correct me if I'm wrong. I remember the first three. I don't remember the fourth one. But of course, the fifth is the fifth, But so your First Amendment right is the right to freedom of speech. Second Amendment right is the right to bear arms. And the Third Amendment to the Constitution of the United States is that no soldier can never come into your house and just take your house and use it for the night to sleep.
I think that's called posse comitatus. The military should never act against civilians in our country.
Yeah, like you can't come in my house and take my bed and make me sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
It just seems like like you can say whatever you want to say, and you can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the other amendments in the top 10 were like, all about stuff you do in court.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna go, like you can say whatever you want, and you can shoot, but you're gonna go to court.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to court, these are your rights. This
You
is
have
what
the
you
right to a speedy trial.
Yeah, you have a right to it's like
you have a right to representation.
like everything is in court. Like the
Mm-hmm.
whole focus is so negative. The whole focus of the Constitution just seems so negative. Like they're
because
protecting your rights. Well, I guess
it was forged out of that negativity.
I guess without rights. How did I say? I said it.
Without rights is wrong, man.
Yeah, without rights, anyone can wrong you.
Exactly.
With
Without
no-
rights, the people with power can wrong you.
and without justice.
Exactly. Exactly.
Everything's certain.
It's checks and balances. The Bill of Rights acts as checks and balances
Yeah.
for the powers that be. That's why.
So what? I got to do my research. I would like to do a whole episode just talking about the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
All the amendments. 27? Let's do 27, right? I was born here. I didn't have to take the test.
You didn't have to take the Constitution test?
I mean, not the real one.
You got to take it to graduate out of 8th grade.
And high school.
Right, I don't remember. High school was.
Hi.
Smoked a hell of a lot of dope in high school.
I
That's-
smoked up.
Yeah, buddy. So I think we wrapped that up into a nice, neat little package.
Yeah.
So let's take a break and come back, man.
Yeah.
Talk about some Kanye. Scoop diddy doo, people. Scoop diddy doo.